agree with him, and you take things such as that into consideration all the time. Particularly as a writer, because people will say, "Oh, you're not experienced enough to be writing something like this."
Yeah, but I mean, they can say that, but then how does anyone get the experience in the first place?
Yeah, because like I've mentioned, it's no secret. Like I work on projects away from this as well. I work on all sorts of things. I work on music. I've like tried writing plays before. Like they've sort of like vanished into oblivion. Like I didn't really like the way they were going, and I never went back to work on them. But also because like that's sort of how you grow as a writer. You do these projects for yourself. You abandon them. I mean, like I know only one of those past projects before has been used, and it was used in a high school drama club. But like I've no real shame to admitting it because I've sort of gone along to sort of help like direct and help people with that because my drama teacher had said, "Oh, can you like use this? Can we use this script in drama club?" It's just like, "Oh, right, sure, I'll come along and like help people out with it." So it's all this sort of interesting sort of idea, but particularly because like the drama club at my old school focused on like reaching younger people. It focused on towards like the younger key stage. Like key stage 3, so it's all this very interesting idea. It was built along this very sort of complex backstory, and then people who do give the argument, because it's going to be inevitable, people who say, "Oh, you're not experienced enough to be writing this," is, well, have you seen any of the scripts or anything? I don't think you have.
No. Yeah, exactly.
So for those wondering, there is a full-on idea to this. It's a very interesting plan and a idea because you've seen the test scripts. You've seen how it's all going to go. Oh. And you're saying these are really good. Mohammed is saying these are really good. Like I think even Kane is saying, "Yeah, these are good. I just don't want to admit it." Let's not be mean to Kane. I mean, we did piss him off a bit last time with like putting stuff in.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mohammed, he's actually online. I'm gonna sort of at him and tell him to watch the stream.
Oh, I think it's just gone off.
No, it's still active. But yeah, like, no, it's interesting to explore like these different characters. You'll have some who maybe like Wally. He's gonna have a very interesting sort of. I think there'll be an interesting sort of standoff between him and Godspeed. Like they are going to fight. It is going to be a solo fight. He's not going to be there like helping Barry with it. Like, "Oh, look at me, I'm here in the background, like helping Barry with this fight." It's not going to be like that. It's going to be a full-on like solo fight, and it'll make you wonder who's going to win. Like Wally's had more training with his speed, but he's still a teenager. He's like maybe 17 in this, roughly.
Yeah, 14 to 17, I think.
Yeah, 14 to 17. Like he's not much. I wouldn't say he's much older in like the Arrowverse. Like despite the fact he's being played by an adult. Like we'll ignore all that. We'll assume he's a teenager in the show.
He said to be like 18, 19.
Yeah.
So.
But it really is focusing on like the dynamic that Jay Garrick will have, saying like, this guy, he's unstable, but he is trying to do good, isn't it?
So Jay will kind of have a conflict then, wouldn't he?
I wouldn't really say he's got a conflict though, because like I have this idea planned for the sequel, and we'll get to talking about that in a sec. So you're gonna have to wait in suspense for me to reveal stuff like that and all of that. You're just like, damn you! But
what?
But yeah, it's characters like Jay or maybe even Wally who's going to be like, do we need to take this guy out? Or maybe even Barry will wonder that. And then you see the test script that's like more officially what would be used if we get an actor and we want to do a test script on them. You get the test script from that as well, and you think, oh, look at this, it's everything. And it's all this different sort of idea here that, who's in the right, who's in the wrong, really. So there will be conflict within Team Flash, I think, but it's debatable as to who.
You there?
Yeah, so it's all going to be debatable as to, like, who's the conflict between, who's saying August has a point, and who's saying that, Barry is correct in everything he's saying. it's all
They're
built.
both correct, but in different ways.
Yeah, like I think that'll be the conclusion everyone reaches. But also, like you can see what side Caitlyn will be on from the test script I've put out on her alone, and like, is it going to cause a rift between her and Cisco? Probably not, because like Cisco's lost people. Like he's seen like the darker side, and he's just like, no, we need to do it this way, and it'll be interesting. Wally, on the other hand, hasn't seen as much. Like he's seen stuff, he's experienced stuff, and then you're just there like, oh well, how does this all change? The answer is, does it? Here, again, chat, like leave any questions. We're happy to answer anything within reason here. And it's all like this. It's all, yeah.
Hell, I mean, say about keeping people like for suspense.
Yeah.
Well,
Hang on, just wait for your voice to come back. Try.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. So you're saying people.
And it's cut again.
For example, a way we could keep people feeling the suspense of it is like when it ends, we can have it like say something.
Yeah, because we are
story over, and then maybe
you'll get this. I do plan to try and include like maybe some sort of end credit scene, and we've teased like the mystery character is more than likely because you know you've seen the stuff I'm doing. You're clearly intrigued by it, and I think you're liking the idea of a more original story for the sequel. Like I think you haven't really kept that much of a secret that you're sort of like leaning towards what I've shown you. It is going. You know, it's debatable, like we mentioned last time, there is going to be a scene between the mystery character and another character in this. It's more than likely going to be Godspeed. It's like maybe this sort of thing, like after Barry has gone back. Can I say this?
PM, what you want to say quickly?
Hang on.
Quickly.
Sorry about that, guys, because obviously if I say something bad and the director doesn't like it, I get fired from the project.
Yeah.
Can we say that?
I mean, the date hasn't been set. We've had the first was, of course.
Yeah.
Here's a fun fact. The original idea was definitely set in 2024. However, I don't know properly yet. We have to wait for.
Yeah, we have to wait for that. So can I say that or nah?
Well, really, it doesn't have any relevancy if we don't know the actual date the game setting. So you could say it, except it just wouldn't have any relevancy at the moment.
And it can be a potential spoiler. So for those who are watching who don't want spoilers,
True.
Yeah. For those who are watching who don't want potential spoilers, mute your thing now quickly, and I'll type in the chat when to unmute. So
4,
3, 2, 1. Mute now. I've just sent it to the chat. Barry will end up like going back in time. So the question is like, I can say, I don't want mute now. Okay. Hey, it'll be debatable as to whether there's the mystery character having the scene with Godspeed then, really.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't really think it's any secret, like, in terms of the character and as in their interactions and, like, all of that, like, people wonder, like, is the mystery character going to be the villain of the third game if there is one? No, he's not, but it isn't without potential that he'll likely appear in it, because he will act. I can confirm as much, like, if that pitch is used, and I think you're leaning towards it in terms of, like, you're using a lot of elements from, like, comics this time. You want a more original story for the next game, at least the next second game, if this turns into a trilogy or something. I do think you're leaning towards more of an original story for it, just so, like, you're not completely ripping it off the whole quote-unquote trilogy. Third game not confirmed.
Not confirmed.
Third game not confirmed. Potential.
Second game isn't even confirmed properly.
I mean, we sort of confirmed like it is going to happen like last week. Well, no, yeah, sort of last week. I think we spoke on Friday, didn't we? So here we are, like what 4 days later, having having another one of these podcasts, like maybe one each week. Like we're doing it now for reasons I don't know.
We have
um,
got a proper we have got to get a proper schedule.
yeah, we do. Like, but then again, it all depends on like when you and I are busy, because like obviously we've both got other commitments outside of this. But yeah, you are
Yeah, I
obviously
mean,
leaning more towards an original story for the sequel, so it's going to be very interesting to see how it goes.
hell, your mystery character. Will we have a voice modulator?
He's not going to have a voice modulator, at least not in the scene that he'll be appearing in this game. So it'll all be interesting, like, because obviously final ideas for him aren't completely ironed out. I know roughly where he's going to go, and you know roughly where he's going to go, but like in terms of like all the ironed out specifics, I have some. None of them I have shared with you.
Oh.
We'll talk about that later. Let's talk about the possibility of a game trailer for it, though, because that'll be interesting. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how potentially like doing a trailer and like who's going to appear in it. Definitely Godspeed. Like we'll pay. I would gladly write this whole sort of script for it, but like it's all debatable as to where everything's going to go with that, and I'm not really sure is the idea to make things like that happen or not. There is probably going to be a trailer. I think we can sort of say that. We've not really planned production on any of that yet. We're probably going to do it soon. Yeah, it's more than likely, but like it's not going to be coming within the next month. It won't be coming for more than a month. Like it's gonna, like we haven't even sort of decided is there going to be one yet. I think it's going to be pretty likely. Either there'll be one though.
If it is one, we could base it off of like the season trailers.
Yeah, like that's sort of the idea. Like we might do one for the demo. We might do one, and we would pretty much definitely be doing one for like the main game. But it's all sorts of potential. Ooh, I'm gonna quickly update the plan to you as well.
Yeah.
Because like we haven't actually been going that long, so we can talk about some more stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's all sorts of interesting sort of potential.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the season 2 trailer for Flash. I mean, hell, I'm not even gonna send a link to you. Because it was interesting the way they did it.
Yeah, it was, and like you take into consideration all sorts of things, and like the title of this episode of the podcast is "Who is Godspeed?" So I'll quickly leave that on the plan.
Yeah.
And no, that doesn't mean like any sort of history on him. Just a couple more points, because like we'll talk about the fifth one for a bit, then we'll go on to those two. It isn't going to really be any sort of like history lesson on him, but it's going to be sort of like who is he in this game? Who is he in this sort of universe we're trying to create that will tie into the Arrowverse? And like trailers won't really answer much. He's sort of going to be like he'll be talking as if he's really in a cell for it, really, and it's going to be interesting in terms of like his dynamic and his idea. Here's fuck it. Flash is failing, I'm going to become a killer to kill criminals.
That was basically his thinking in the comics anyway, so...
Yeah, it was, and like I think that's why we took the time to completely break the character apart and replan him and rebrand him in a way. DC, you really fucked it up when you made the idea for Godspeed and just rushed him so badly.
The moment with fans do a better job than
the actual comic writers. Yeah, it's actually hilarious as well, because like you can see we're taking a lot of time to put him in there, and like there's no guarantee like any big bad will appear in the trailer at all if there is one. I think it's more than likely going to be like the smaller threat, and that's what the Rogues will be. You've seen people team up with them in the comics. Particularly like Inertia. Inertia and the Rogues is pretty famous team up.
Oh yeah. But they've even teamed up slightly in the show as well.
Yeah, they have sort of teamed up very, very slightly. Like, even Barry has sort of teamed up with the Rogues, and like the Rogues sort of serve as these anti-heroes. They're happy robbing banks, and I remember like the other YouTubers have said this. They're happy just robbing banks. They're not really all that bothered in terms of like everything else. I mean, Flashpoint as the Flash movie has sort of potentially been teased.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's windy against your mic or not, but but it's all sorts of like different potential, different ideas, and different
Yeah.
who knows what, like all sorts of plans and ideas. That's the season 2 trailer. Yeah, I've seen that as
Yep.
well because like there's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff teased. Like, you know, they say his name, they sort of confirm, yep, this is the big bad. It sort of focuses a bit on the aftermath. It's
Yeah.
you know, it's the way
Yeah.
they build up the suspense, and it's a lot of that'll probably be a lot of what we're going to do if we put a
Yeah.
trailer out on this as well.
But there's one part of it I didn't like. They
Yeah.
intentionally misled us because right at the end, you know when you see the blue lightning lying around,
Yep.
right at the end, you deliberately see a huge shifted version of that. You see the blue lightning, and if you watch it closely, you can see his symbol, his mask. It's not that in Zoom. They deliberately misled.
Oh yeah, I can sort of see that. Ah,
Yeah.
yeah, I
They
see that because
deliberately
you've just
do
sent me
something.
an image of it. You've just sent me an image of it. I'm not going to flash it up or anything because I can't really do that without like showing Discord, and I'll forget to set it back. But yeah, I can see that. And, like, I don't know, maybe you know, you can't completely confirm it's Barry. I mean, potentially it is, or maybe it's like early concept for how they were doing Zoom. So it's going to be very interesting. I
Maybe.
remember like seeing memes where they're just like one pointed out Reverse Flash like, this is a villain. Then they showed Godspeed. This is the fucking devil incarnate or something similar.
Yeah. For that.
Hello,
I remember
Vion.
once. I mean, it had like a picture of the Reverse Flash and Barry, and it said, "This is a speedster intent on destroying the timeline," and above him is the Reverse Flash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it's
That was
all
funny.
that sort of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
particularly because if we do a trailer, like, it's more than likely not even showing the bigger threats. Like, it won't show Godspeed, it won't show Savitar, and it's going to be very interesting on like what we do with it. Like, is it going to be anything directly that appears? Is it going to be anything
Like the
may?
new Star Wars film trailers, it will have the voices in the background.
Yeah, well, it's gonna, and you know, people will wonder like, oh, are we going to include Star Wars references? May as well. I mean, the universe is massive right now, so fuck it, we may as well include the Star Wars references.
Multiverse.
No,
That's what you got to remember.
no, I'm talking about like the Star Wars universe is massive right now, so we may as well include
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
I'm doing a stream,
Yeah.
Harry.
But
That's my brother shouting in the background. Stop installing things and just wait.
I'm glad I'm glad I don't have any younger brothers near my age.
He's 15, which is sort of depressing, but nah,
I have it worse. I have a 15-year-old sister.
I'd
Oh,
rather a sister. I'm not gonna lie.
that sounds wrong. No, just messing with you.
Nah,
Reddit's done for me.
it's all sorts of like different potential, all that's gonna
Yeah.
go on, and like, you know, I think we'll probably try and make it sort of reminiscent of the show's trailers and all sorts of like different options as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, but let's move on to the next point, and people will probably get excited for this because I think it'll sort of confirm that there is one officially. Fifth point is let's talk about the sequel a bit more.
Oh yeah. That's right. Oh, one sec.
While we wait for Savitar. Okay, are you back with us?
Okay, sorry about that. Adjust myself. Just grab my water.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's all sorts of like different potential that's going to happen, but sequel that'll be interesting. I think it's sort of more than likely going to go with like the sort of story idea I'm presenting because we are looking for a mystery character. He will be revealed in the sort of sequel that I am writing, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with him.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I should reveal his name because, like, you know it, because like you've sort of seen early drafts of like how I was hoping to put this villain in other ways as
You
well.
never. I don't think you revealed his name.
No, I've not revealed his name. I've revealed it to you.
No, I
I've,
don't think you have.
I have.
Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat quickly. Like DM it to